All right, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to first round coverage of the National Invitational Volleyball Championship here live from the WVU Coliseum. The first match pits the Temple Owls up against the Campbell Fighting Camels. Hi, everybody. Zach Oser and Dan Wolfgang here. A lot to talk about here, Dan, on these two teams. Both not really used to postseason play. Both haven't been there in a long time. Give me one player from both sides that you think is going to have the biggest impact in this match.
Sure. Well, let's start with the Temple Owls, a team that comes in with a 19-9 record, second-place finish in the American Athletic Conference. I'm going to go with the senior from Brunswick, Ohio, transfer from Virginia Tech, Kira Condorides, a 5'10 senior team leader as far as assists go. She's been a big factor in terms of digs as well. Statistically, she is one of the best Owls out there on the court, but certainly with a team like Temple, there's a lot of depth. So really you could pick from a hat of names with about 6 or 7 different options there. And then for Campbell, a team that comes in with a 20-11 record, 10-6 mark in Big South play, I'm going to go with the sophomore Alina Heath, team leader as far as kills goes with 446 this year, averaging a little over 4 per set. She was number 1 in the Big South Conference with her average and was top 30 in the nation, so certainly heavy hitters this time of year can be a huge factor, and Campbell's going to need it because as we take a look, and as we saw a little bit during warm-up, size advantage seems to be a little bit to the side of the Owls, and so Campbell's going to need some strong hitters at the net.
Yeah, Temple finishing second, as you said, in the American Conference, as Summer Sky Tama goes back with the serve here to start things off in this first round matchup. We'll set this one up. This one's going over to Papazoglu, and the first point of this match will go to Temple. Papazoglu with a nice little play there to get things started off.
Perfect play there from the freshman from Greece. 159 kills on the season, and they're showing some nice touch early on.
Arakuji back for the Temple Owls. The libero for Temple. And a nice little try there at the net. Heath trying to get one past, but can't, as the Temple Owls are there, and they put it back in the faces of Campbell, and Temple out to a 2-0 lead.
There's a pair of international players stepping up there, Papazoglu and Eva Dejak, the junior from Croatia. A lot of international talent on this Temple roster.
It's going to be a little close at the net. There's going to be an infraction. That's going to go against Campbell, so Temple will get the point. Skytama having to go over the net there to get to that one. 3-0 early advantage for Temple. So right out of the gates, Temple off to the good start. And there's another infraction. This one again against Campbell. Didn't see that one look like it was going to be called regardless of what happened. Because that happens right before the serve.
For a team in Campbell making its first postseason appearance, this is not the way that you wanted things to start out.
No, not at all. We'll see if things get fixed pretty quick here. There's a little bit of a broken play. Temple will have an opportunity to joust at the net. Now Temple will get another chance. This one goes to Papazoglu. The block was there, but not effective enough as it goes out of bounds. So Temple continuing to roll here early on. So you take another look at that right there. The block was there, as we said. That was Madison Linksweiler that was ready for it. Unfortunately for her, though, it bounced out of bounds. And the first point for Campbell will come off a service error after a good start there by Arakuji, not able to keep that one in bounds.
Yeah, that ends a 5-0 run to start the match here for the Owls. Let's see what Campbell can do on its serve.
Alina Heath, when you call it as the person to watch for Campbell, has the serve there. Condorides sets it up for Lapis, and that is going to hit the ground. Point for Temple, as Izzy Raposh there with the early point, and Temple continuing to roll. So far, Campbell actually with no points that have come off anything but errors here early on.
That was a monster shot from a unanimous pick for first team All-American Athletic Conference. And now on serve for the Owls.
We'll try it again, and a perfect setup there for Campbell as Madison Linksweiler rears up and gets a terrific kill to get Campbell going a little bit. Kind of something they desperately needed here early on.
You're not kidding. In 6'1", she got some great elevation on that kill. Looked a little bit more like 6'10" when she made contact.
Linksweiler will try and get a solid serve in there. Nice play by Arakuji, keeps it alive, and it ends up being a point for Temple. Iva Dejak gets the point. A nice effort to get things started there by Arakuji after a pretty solid serve. Take a look at it right there. Again, Campbell not able to return after the spike from Temple. Katerina Papazoglu is back now. Does a bit of a jump serve there. Campbell is able to get that one over. Condorides will set this one up. And the spike is successful. That was Dana Westfield there for Temple. And Temple continuing to roll here early on as Campbell just kind of looks like they're trying to get their feet under him right now.
Funny thing on that one was when Westfield hit it, it almost sounded like it was a miss hit. She had a little bit of a ooh at the end of that one, but placed well enough that it was a point.
Papazoglu not able to keep that one in. That's going to be another service error here for Temple. Again, Campbell still only 1 point so far, not off service errors. They'll take any point they can get, but you'd like to see more points coming from things your side has done as opposed to the other side's done wrong.
Well, I think it's important to mention, too, that, you know, for teams that made it into this stage of the tournament, we're still a little bit of a work in progress. This is just another opportunity to go out and practice, to compete. Obviously, this is the resurgence of what would be the NIT for the sport of volleyball. And you know, you've got a team in Campbell who otherwise wouldn't be playing right now, getting a chance to have another opportunity. And so far, they've dug themselves a little bit of a hole, but we're far from over.
And we'll see how things go. A lot of volleyball still to play, as it's 9-3 here early on. Nice opportunity there, but Temple able to return it. They'll take a shot at it here. A nice save and a joust at the net. Condori Des is going to get another chance. She'll set that one up for Simmons. And a nice little volley going here. Campbell keeping things alive. Temple will take another chance at it, and a terrific misdirection play there by Dana Westfield. Takes everything off of it and drops it into the empty spot, giving Temple the point.
Yeah, unfortunately, that one's going to be a tough one in the box score, but great opportunities from Campbell just to keep this one alive. That one especially you saw in the replay. And a good job by Westfield after you've had such bruising and powerful shots to go a little bit more with the finesse touch. Really caught the Camels off guard a little bit.
Campbell will try and set things up again. A backline kill right there, or an attempted one. Westfield will try it again, this time not able to make good contact. Ends up hitting it off the net, so Campbell will get the point there, 10-4. As both teams just kind of look like they're trying to get a feel for where they want to go with this. Temple a little bit more on their toes at the moment. We'll see how things progress as this match continues. Another service error, this time coming from the Campbell side, as Temple will take that point. And now Condori Des back to do the service again. Seen a couple service errors from both sides here early on. And Condori Des almost has a service error, but it turns into an ace. We talk about that sometimes when it hits the net, you sometimes get that nice roll that you're looking for. That's exactly what happened right there. Coach Goral has seen enough. He is going to take a timeout. We will take our first timeout as well. When we come back here, more coverage of the NIVC right here on WVSports.com. Back with more here on WVSports.com. First round coverage of the NIVC. As back to do the service here is Kerry Condori Des for Temple. Temple out to the good start, a 12-4 early lead. And we'll try and get something going right here. Heath, nice save by Condori Des, set things up. Now Temple will take a swing at it. I believe there was a tip. The referees agree. So that point will go to Temple as the Owls continue fairly dominant performance to start things out. Campbell's shown some signs of life, but overall Temple has been the better side for sure.
Team that was very successful in the regular season. We mentioned tied for second in the American Athletic Conference. Anytime you're second to a team like Wichita State, it's okay. You've had a pretty good season. Wichita State was the last of the 16 national seeds in the NCAA tournament. So this is a team that's very hungry to make their mark, and a team that could thrive in an environment like this in this NIVC tournament.
Perfect serve there by Schanbach. Temple tries to return it, but it looks like there's going to be an infraction. Double contact against Kira Condori Des, so Campbell will take the free point there, 13-5. Fans of the West Virginia volleyball team that have been watching them all season. We're used to seeing the jump serve. It's Peyton Caffrey's favorite, and this one pretty comparable to Caffrey's. Schanbach does it again there. And that's going to be an infraction against Temple. Again, that's again Condori Des, except this time we're going over the net. So Campbell gets a couple points in a row, getting something going here.
Yeah, I think first time they've gone back-to-back points if memory serves.
We'll see if Campbell can make something out of this. Schanbach at serve. And she did get that one in. Temple had thought that one had gone long, but according to the referees, it is just in, and that's going to be an ace. Let's take another look. Did they get this one right? Yes, they did. A terrific serve from Kayla Schanbach. So Campbell going to try and keep this run going with Schanbach in the service position. Westfield tries to put an end to it. The block was there, and it's going to, they say the ball is still in play. Now there's a whistle. Okay, so apparently the ball was down, but that was kind of a strange continuation there. Usually they would keep playing regardless, but I guess they called back and said that the point does go to Campbell after all. So Campbell will continue this solid run they've got going. 4 straight points. Or excuse me, 5 straight points. Kendori Des sets this one up for, and they'll try this again. That one's going to go long. So Campbell once again keeps it going as Izzy Raposh could not keep that in bounds.
And a timeout called by Temple as a result. 6-0 run to make this suddenly closer here.
Yeah, we were just talking about how it hadn't been very close at all, and all of a sudden, we've got a terrific match on our hands. Coach Ganesharatnam has seen enough. We'll take another quick break when we come back. More action here from the first round of the NIVC right here on WVSports.com. As it was domination by Temple, that has shifted awfully quick here as it's now 13-10. Kayla Schambach has had a terrific run from the service position. She'll try to keep that going. Another jump serve here. It's a good first pass there by Temple. Campbell able to corral it. Heath will get a shot at it. A great play by Arakuji keeps it alive. A backline right there. It's going to be a joust at the net and a terrific save by Schambach. Here comes Heath. She's got the tip, but Temple keeps it alive. Again, another terrific play by Schambach. Campbell just going to have to get this one over any way they can. Kendori Des sets this right back to Simmons, and finally Campbell tried really hard to keep that run going, but Temple was finally able to end it there with a nice play.
Well, that was a great point on both sides. Unfortunately, that little miscommunication from the Camels set the Owls up perfectly to end that 6-0 run. But a lot of fight from Campbell, and that's a good thing to see, obviously, when you get into a tournament like this.
A lot of times if you get off to a bad start, it can really hurt you for the rest of the game. And I haven't seen that happen, although a bad miscommunication there by Campbell as Temple ends up with an ace from Avery Salvador, but I don't think she was expecting to get one. It was just complete communication. Three Campbell players just didn't go after it. At the end of this one, Skydema sets this one up. Temple giving another touch. Here's Raposh. She's blocked at the net. This is going to be a very difficult play. And Temple keeps it alive. Skydema again. Irakuji with a terrific save. Simmons can't get in there. Stocking trying to set up Heath. Heath is just going to have to get this over any way she can. Kendori Des again. Blocked at the net by Raposh. And it's going to hit. They actually haven't made a call on which side as
I think that's Alina Heath.
Yeah, Alina Heath went down in the heap there. Yeah, it looked like there was a couple different things going on there as Heath gets up. Seems to be okay. Took a pretty big hit there. It looks like she went off the net and landed out of bounds. I think they had just called play for the time being, I'm guessing there. There hasn't been any change in the scoreboard or anything. Yeah, so it looks like it was concerned about the injury.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like according to our official stats, they did award the point to Campbell. We'll see.
Yeah, it's just not coming through on our scoreboards yet.
Yeah.
Well, it did look like the point went to Campbell overall, unless there was an infraction.
Up a little bit there, you can see.
Yeah, because they had whistled, but that was hitting the ground regardless. The referees are giving Coach Ganesharatnam a quick explanation of what just happened. And yeah, now we're seeing that Campbell is going to get that point. Overall, solid play there from Campbell as it looked like Temple kind of was in control of that point. But in the end of it, Heath ends up getting a pretty big play against Raposh there and makes it happen. Campbell really has kind of had a lot of fight in them. They looked at times like they are a little overmatched, but they've really come back and played very hard.
Well, in the manner of speaking, this is almost a little bit of a David versus Goliath storyline a little bit here, you know. You've got former A10, now American Athletic Conference team in Temple, team that's been to the Sweet 16, though it was a little while ago, and Campbell making their first postseason appearance out of the Big South. But as we noted before we came on the air, Big South did get 2 teams into the NCAA tournament, so there's definitely some strength in the league, even if it is a small league like the Big South.
Campbell's had some good competition to get themselves ready for these kind of matches as well, although Temple has gotten a couple points in a row. They're going to call another timeout here as Campbell doesn't want this one getting away from them. Temple was starting to get a run going once again. We'll take another quick break here when we come back. More first round coverage of the NIVC, Temple versus Campbell, here on WVUsports.com. Back underway here at the NIVC from the WVU Coliseum. Zach Oster and Dan Wolfgang here for WVUsports.com. We'll bring you coverage of first round between the Temple Owls and the Campbell Camels. Campbell trying to get a big point here, and they're going to. There's a quick point there by Alicia Mitchell. Just comes into the match, makes a big play right out of the gate.
Freshman from High Point, North Carolina. Stepping up big time as she beats the block there of Eva Dayoc.
Elena Haith back to do the service here. It's going to be an overpass, gives Campbell a good opportunity. They'll set it up for Stocking, but she's blocked perfectly at the net. Raposh was there as well as Dayoc. A huge play there by Temple. And they keep any run from Campbell from happening. Now, Izzy Raposh will go back to do the service. Shambach under it first. Skytema sets it up for Stocking. She's blocked again at the net. Shambach was able to return it, but a great play by Dayoc, and she sends it right back at Campbell. And Temple back in control. 19-12 now.
Campbell certainly has shown a tremendous amount of fight here in this first serve, but it's been a couple of points like that that has just served as a little bit of a subtle reminder just how much talent is on the other side in Temple.
Well, you mentioned the height difference, and obviously that's always going to be a big deal, and that has come through for Temple a few times here. We see that coming through once again. Izzy Raposh there with a service error. Gives Campbell another opportunity. Condorides setting things up. Skytema get this one to Heath, and they'll just pass it over. Condorides tries to sneak one over. Stocking was ready for it. And Dayoc able to get that one in play. A nice hit from Ida Dayoc, able to go pretty much cross court and keep it in bounds.
Probably going to be the approach for the Owls here, I would imagine, the rest of the match. After Campbell's timeout earlier in the first set, they did a great job of protecting that baseline in the middle, and I think Temple kind of went to that well a few too many times. Seems to be a clear change in strategy to try and push this a little wider.
Skytema sets this one up for a quick set, and it's going to work perfectly. That was Hannah Schnegenberger making a big play for Campbell, and Campbell kind of seeing on the offensive a lot more. They've been playing a lot better on that, in that way as opposed to earlier in this match, as they just really were kind of reacting to Temple now, a little bit more of the aggressor.
Comfort level will definitely grow as the match goes on.
Service coming in. Raposh didn't hit that one the way she wanted to. Might give Campbell an opportunity here. Skytema sets it up for Stocking. Gets a deflection. What a save by Ira Kuji. And Temple keeps it alive. Skytema sneaks one over. A terrific play as Summer Skytema able to keep Temple on their toes there. She sneaks that one past the entire defense.
Not necessarily known for kills as far as statistics go. In her career, she just surpassed actually 3,000 career assists. She was one of 2 players in program history with 1,000 digs and 2,000 assists, which again, that mark has obviously gone up another 1,000.
Condorides sets that one up for Dana Westfield. A terrific kill for her. Probably been one of the better in this match so far as getting kills. So there's no response to that. So 21-15 here early on. As now Temple will try and potentially finish out this first set. Iva Dayoc goes back to do the service. Bit of a run up to that one, although she's not going to get enough on it. That's another service error. I believe that's number 5 for Temple here.
4, I think, according to official stats, but it's felt like a lot more.
Yeah, it's had a pretty big impact. It's giving Campbell a lot of life as well, as another run ended by a service error. So a chance here for Campbell to get possibly a run of their own going. Jessica Stocking with the serve. Condorides sets it up for Simmons. Campbell will go ahead and return this. A terrific play. That's Schnegenberger again. Able to get that one in the back corner. No return coming from Temple. And we still got a real close match going here, 21-17.
One thing that really intrigues me about this Campbell team, a lot of young talent out there. Very similar to West Virginia, which we'll see later on here this evening.
Dana Westfield not going to be able to do a whole lot with that one. So a chance here for Campbell. Here's Heath. Nice play again by Hirakuji. As Raposh Is barely not going to be able to get that one past the Campbell defense. Nice play, but they'll try it again here with Simmons. And again, Campbell will just not let this ball hit the ground. Temple will try it again. Here's Westfield. And a save by Shanback. And again, Campbell keeps it alive, but unfortunately Heath not able to hit that one the way she wanted to. Kind of tell right away that she knew she had mishit that one. But a great effort nonetheless by Campbell, and Temple that will take the 5-point lead.
Well, you're not kidding. Shanback, you called it, the senior from Florida with a great dig, and a few hits right before that one was Jessica Stocking, a junior from California. Got all the way down on the court to dig that one out.
Schnegenberger not able to hit that one where she wanted to after getting a couple of successful kills in a row. That one's going to go out of bounds. So 23-17 now. Temple just needing 2 more points, and they will have taken the first set. Condori-Dez does the service. Campbell got to get moving real quick here. Heath hoping to get the tip. They did get it, according to the referee. So 23-18 now as Campbell will go and get themselves going, trying to go back to the service. This could be a really good sign here for Campbell. Kayla Shanback is back to do the service here for the Camels. And as we saw earlier on, they had quite a good run when she was back there to do the service. So if they have any chance of coming back, this is the person they want back there.
Starts with 1, right?
Starts with 1. Kayla Shanback with the jump serve. Temple able to play this one pretty well. Raposh gets the tip, and a good response there from the Temple Owls as Izzy Raposh allows no run to get going there at all. And now set point for Temple.
Set point.
So take a look there. We've seen a lot of that as Campbell is on the block, ready to go, but unfortunately just don't have it angled the right way and ends up going off them out of bounds.
It's a game of inches.
And that's going to finish things on an ace. Temple able to get the ace to end things. That's actually the second ace of the first match for Mary Salvador. So not necessarily known for her aces, but she's got 2 already in this match. So a great start for her and a great start for Temple as the first set is taken by the Owls. So after that first set, just general thoughts. Where are you thinking the Temple and Campbell are going here, and what does Campbell need to change going into that second set?
Well, as far as where we're going, that depends a little bit, I think, on the Camels, to be totally honest with you. If we see a little bit more of the Campbell team that had that 6-0 run, then I think we could see maybe a 4 or 5 set potential match here. Otherwise, I think, the favorite coming in was Temple. It's no disrespect intended to Campbell, but I think Temple had the edge coming in, and I think the way they've hit the ball, the way they have built up to their kills, they look like the better side thus far. But ultimately, it comes down to execution, and it comes down a lot to the errors. You talked a lot about that. The 4 service errors for Temple really put Campbell in a good spot in that first set, something the Owls have got to shore up here in the second and third.
All right, well, we'll see if Campbell is able to do that, and we'll see how this match progresses. We'll be back with more action here with second set action on WVSports.com. All right, ready to get back underway here with second set action from the NIVC. Temple facing off against Campbell. Temple was able to take the first set 25-18. Campbell hoping they can turn things around here in this second set. And as you said, and as we've mentioned a few times, both of these teams pretty new to this. This is the first time Temple has been in a postseason for the last 15 seasons. And this is the first time overall that Campbell's volleyball program has gone to the postseason. So this is a really special experience for both sides.
Absolutely, and even for West Virginia and Maryland Eastern Shore, the nightcap here in this first round, it's a great opportunity, and I kind of liken it to what we see in college basketball with the NIT.
Yeah.
There's an absolute correlation between success in the NIT and success into the following season. It almost always happens in college basketball where the NIT champion ends up doing a lot better the following year, and I think that that's what these two teams are striving for, what all 4 of these teams, all 32 if you want to expand it to the whole bracket, are really striving for. You've got a lot of young talent in the sport of volleyball especially, and so it gives your seniors and your upperclassmen a chance to have one more hurrah. It gives your younger players a chance to get more practice, more reps, and in the long run, I think it just creates a little bit more depth in the world of college volleyball.
Oh, and also when you're looking at teams that have a certain amount of losses midway through the season, this gives them more of a reason to keep playing because there's more to kind of fight for outside of just making the NCAA tournament. So, yeah, it's a good experience, and I think it could be very good for both these volleyball programs as well for recruiting is another thing to think about as well. As both sides, a nice solid volley to start things off here, and it ends right there. Campbell off to a good start. Madison Linksweiler with the kill as the Temple Owls were not able to blocked that one down.
Monster shot here from Linksweiler.
Right off the outside left arm of Dana Westfield. Alina Heath sneaks that one over the net. Now Westfield will take a shot at it. And a great effort by Kayla Shanback. Actually, I hope she's all right. She went down in quite a heap there, almost into her own bench. But Temple will get that point.
Tip of the cap on that point, sorry, to Janine Simmons, senior from Centerville, Virginia. Reading that ball off the net court is not an easy thing to do. She did it well, kept the point alive, and ultimately the Owls were able to make a little easy work of it after that.
It's also not an easy place to hit that ball for Dana Westfield. Really kind of against the grain, able to hit that one in a good spot that Campbell couldn't return it. Salvador's already got 2 aces in this match. Not able to get one there. Jessica Stocking. Nice taken in. Hirakuji will set this one up. Papa Zuglu couldn't quite get it through thanks to a great play by Skytama. That one ends up landing. A little misread there by Jessica Stocking. Okay, pretty hard there when it comes to the net and it's coming straight down. Sometimes you just don't know exactly if it's on your side or the other side.
It's a great camera angle, by the way. I love the mirror image of those two going head to head.
Salvador again. Skytama goes cross court to Stocking. Nice play by Kondori Des, keeps it going. Here's Rapush, blocked at the net. And that's going to be a point for Campbell. And we're tied up at 2 apiece. This is not what happened in the first set. Temple got out to a great start, came out swinging it and was up 5-0. This time Campbell keeping it close early on.
Yeah, and you got to think, too, as we take a look back to that first set and what we're expecting the rest of the match, you dig a 5-0 hole and you lose by 7. Pretty much played them relatively even the rest of the way.
Janine Simmons does a nice job of keeping that one inbounds. Campbell thought that was going to go long. It does not. This has been a bit of an issue for Campbell so far today as well, as thinking balls were going to go longer than they are and not able to go after them. But Temple will get that point. A nice play there. It's a good deflection there for Schnegenberger. Ends up going off of the arm, I believe, of Raposh and landing for the Camels.
I agree that there has been a little bit of a miscommunication, especially into the corners on some of these kills defensively for Campbell. That last one, I think, was just so well hit and so well placed. They were more hoping that that one was going to go long.
Raposh here, she goes long and she's able to get that one in. No miscommunication, just a fantastic kill by Izzy Raposh. Hits that absolutely perfectly. Right where she wanted it. No real chance for Campbell to return that one. Now Raposh will go back to do the service here for the Owls. Skytama tries to sneak one over. Irakuji ready for it. Papa Zuglu tries to sneak it in there. It's going to be a really hard return. That's going to be too many hits for Campbell. So Temple will go ahead and get that point. Kind of an unsung hero, someone we haven't talked about very much, is Maya Irakuji for Temple. The libero has been absolutely fantastic so far today. She's made some huge plays to keep it alive. She made a huge play there as well to keep that point alive. Skytama sets this one up for Stocking. Good chance. Dayak tries to go long. Did she get it in? She did, and that's been working for Temple so far today, is to just try and get as far into that back line as possible. There really hasn't been any return to it, and Dayak does it perfectly. I guess most of the time you'd kind of want to do that anyway, but in this case, there's just hasn't been as much of a chance of a return coming from the Campbell side. Dory Des keeps this one alive. Schnegenberger tries to go long, goes too long, and it goes out. So Temple kind of extending out their lead a bit here, 4 straight points as Temple tries to gain complete control again.
Unfortunate one for the Campbells there, or the Camels there, excuse me. They had done a great job of putting Temple a little bit out of sorts. Couldn't really take advantage of it.
Stocking again, this time blocked at the net, no return coming, a miscommunication by the Fighting Camels. And it's been a rough go for Jessica Stocking. She's had a rough time getting past that block. Temple all over it. Again, Dayak has really been it's been a hard mess for her so far trying to get past her.
Yeah, I think Shanbach sort of froze on that one a little bit, and I'll give her a little bit of credit on it, because if I were to get out there myself, I would not do half as good as she has done here this evening. So certainly, though, as you mentioned, a little bit of a hole here for the Camels to dig themselves out of. This is A little bit like the first set, though in this case we started a little bit more neck and neck, and then the Owls were able to take their edge. So we'll see if a timeout basically has the same effect as it did in the first set. Right after that first timeout, Campbell came off and rolled off a stretch of 6 straight points. Could be huge if they could do it again here in the second set.
Yeah, and we had talked about that with Kayla Schambach when she was back in the service position and how important that was for Campbell at that point, because basically it puts Temple in a situation where they can't make a good first pass, so their return isn't solid, and then Campbell was able to come back at them much more solidly, much more under control as opposed to Temple, and they just haven't had that opportunity since. And we'll see if Campbell can get that going, or if Temple is going to keep this run going on their side.
We talk about the Owls here as we get play back underway here momentarily. It is worth mentioning that their head coach, Bakir Ganesharatnam, a little bit of a homecoming for him, former assistant coach for West Virginia. He was here for 5 years as an assistant coach with the Mountaineers, so had a chance to see his former head coach sitting behind us here at the scorer's table, and great opportunity for him. I think he was actually especially excited to get this draw. I'm sure he would have loved to avoid the travel, but the fact that he gets to come home to a place he spent so much time, he's been very successful at Temple, and it's an opportunity for him to rub elbows with some of his old buddies. So
it's got to be a very exciting opportunity to go back to your old stomping grounds, and especially to your old boss and everything else. As Temple will return from the point that they weren't able to get there just a second ago. Irakuji actually came very close to injuring herself, came very close to the table that's actually set out of bounds. Luckily for us, she saw it right before she had run into it and got out of the way. 9-4 lead here for the Owls. It's Papa Zuglu now with the service. Chance here, but there's going to be an infraction, and it's going to be against Campbell, I believe. Contact with the net against Skytama is my guess here. Didn't see it exactly.
Yeah, I think it might have been Heath, to be honest with you, on that far side. Alina Heath.
Yeah, I think you're right. Either way, the point will go to Temple, so Temple out to a pretty commanding 10-4 lead, pretty similarly to what they did in the first set. Had a pretty large lead at this point as well. Another nice block at the net by Kondorides and Dayak. A chance here for Temple. Here's Dayak. Campbell keeps it alive, joust at the net. Campbell's just going to have to resign to giving it over to Temple, so Westfield gets an opportunity, but Campbell will not die on this point. Stegenberger blocked at the net, but it goes out of bounds, so Campbell, all the effort pays off, and they get the point. All too often we see in these long volleys, the team that's diving around, keeping it alive, usually ends up not getting the point in the end, but this time it works out well for the Fighting Camels.
Good angle off of that block, and see if the Camels can string together a couple of points here and make this a second set.
Schambach, pretty solid serve, and that's a great start. That's an ace for Kayla Schambach. Just launched that one in there. Raposh not able to handle it. Dayak holding her face, but is laughing, so it doesn't seem like she's in too much pain. But she went down kind of hard. Seems to have a good sport about it.
Second ace of the night for Schambach.
Schambach trying to keep the solid play going. Kondorides goes cross court to Westfield. Campbell keeps it alive. Oh, a terrific play, but as they'll keep things going. Raposh tries again. Set up for Heath. Heath says they got the tip, and the referees agree, so Campbell will get the point. It's a terrific play by Heath. She's able to basically split this block, but it looks like it went off of Kondorides.
Yeah, from our vantage point here courtside, you could hear it.
Schambach with the serve again. Kondorides to Dayak. Not the strongest return there from Campbell, so Temple will get another shot at it right here. Here's Westfield. Schambach again with a terrific play. Kondorides tries to sneak one over. Schambach was ready for it. Linksweiler blocked at the net. Nice play by Skytama will keep things going. And a terrific volley going here. Here's Westfield, blocked at the net. Irakuji with another great play. Westfield again. That one almost hits the scoreboard. Heath blocked at the net perfectly. They're going to say it stayed in bounds. That was kind of close to going out of bounds, but either way, the block was on point there. I believe that was Kondorides who makes the contact here. And yep, it does stay in bounds. Terrific play there by Temple. So you've seen the long volleys. We've seen about 3 or 4 of them so far. It looks like they're going to call a challenge here, I think. And
yep,
it's going to be Coach Gorel for Campbell, who's going to call the challenge. And we'll see exactly what the challenge is over.
Okay.
Okay, so the challenge is going to be whether the ball landed in or out. From what we saw of that initial angle, it looked like the ball was in. We'll get multiple angles here, but there you see where the ball is at. It looks like it's hitting right on the line, which would be in. I'd be very surprised if this gets overturned.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if looking from the other side, if it looks different, but from that angle, it definitely looks like it's in.
Well, here's
this angle.
Testament to our great crew. That one looks a little more interesting.
That's a lot closer. But I think even by that one, it looks like it hits as well. And the referee has already taken the headset off, so I believe they're going to make this call pretty quick.
Yep.
So they're going to call it in, so the call will stand, and Temple will get the point. If for no other reason, there's definitely not enough evidence to reverse the call for sure. So.
Yeah, that'd be one of those things in football you'd call it play stands probably, but yeah, that's a fair call. One thing in that point that I wanted to mention is I loved the play of Alina Heath on the soft finesse touch over the net by the Owls. She peeled off of her block a little bit, made a little bit more aware that that soft touch has been kind of hurting them on the defensive side of things. So maybe that's a show of a little bit of strategy from what we're going to see here from the Camels. You know, they're just getting kind of, I don't want to be a little too crass here, but a little battered almost at that block with the power of this Temple team. So they might start to peel off a little bit more and put themselves in position to handle those finesse touches.
Dorita sets it up for Simmons. Simmons goes long, and she's able to pinpoint it once again. Janine Simmons has done a fantastic job of painting that back line. And it's pretty hard for any team to return it if you're going to be that accurate. Take another look. Yeah, pretty perfect. A little bit of a miscommunication there, although nice play by Skytama gets it going. Heath, though, goes too deep on the return. So Temple will string a couple points together here, and now they're up by 5. This really kind of has been a game of runs to an extent as well. Campbell had a bit of a run, got themselves back into it. Now Temple is starting to run in the opposite direction once again. Dolidez sets it up for Westfield. Westfield able to split the block, gets the point. As the block for Campbell has just not been quite as effective as the block for Temple. I think that's really been probably the major difference and major story of this match so far, is just how effective Temple's block has been. Skytama sets it up for Heath. Heath was hoping to get the tip, but the referees are going to say no tip there, so the point just goes straight out of bounds. So Temple now has a 7-point lead, as this one's starting to get away from the Camels. In desperate need of a run. Skytama tries to set that up for Linksweiler. The block was there again, although I actually think that one went off the net, I believe. But either way, Simmons was ready, as was Raposh. As Temple continuing to dominate on the defensive side. Actually, I think the block was the deflection there.
To go back to your earlier point, this sport, especially with the advent of rally scoring, is so much about momentum. It's about being able to pick yourself up after you lose 1 point. And, you know, back in the day when you actually had to win a point before you could win, you had to have serve before you could score. It meant that if you had one little misstep, one little mistake, you could basically rectify that by winning the next point, and it wouldn't show on the scoreboard. Rally scoring has obviously totally changed the game as a result of that, and it makes things tough for a team like Campbell. They've played extremely well here this evening, but a couple of costly errors here and there, it has really fueled a great team in Temple. I mean, a team, again, that's 19-9 in the year, 15-5 in one of the top conferences in the country. I mean, your conference champion got a national seat, so there's nothing to scoff at. It's tough. They've put in a great fight here. They're hoping, obviously, that the season doesn't come to an end just yet. But this is when you have to, no pun intended, dig deep to topple an opponent like the Owls, because they're coming in here hungry, not only to get a win here tonight, maybe even a win tomorrow. They've got hopes of going the whole way and maybe turning this into what I alluded to earlier, a good momentum build into next season, into the offseason, and then ultimately into 2018.
Yeah, overall, Campbell has to find some way to get past the block of Temple, because that block is absolutely killing them at the net. And the question on that is, do you speed it up? Do you actually slow it down? There just has to be a change in strategy from the Campbell side of how they're going to attack the net. Because so far, no matter who's in there for Temple, they have dominated that part of the game. And when you're dominating on the block, it's almost impossible to win, or impossible to lose, I should say. Another fantastic block right on cue. Raposh was right there. And Campbell, you just end up feeling like you're just never going to get past that block. You see it once again. So we'll see if Campbell can get that going or if Temple will continue to dominate on that side. This time, a bit of a change of strategy there. Raposh gets the tip. Fantastic save by Schambach. Skytama tries to sneak that one over. Kondori does to Simmons. Simmons hits that one off the net, and I think the deflection actually threw the Camels there. So that one works out in Temple's advantage, now up by 11. We take a look at the replay. You never know with that net. There's only so much you can do when the ball takes some odd deflection off the net. Works well there for Temple.
Well, and if you mentioned if you can't beat the block, it's going to be a long night. If you're not getting bounces from time to time, too, it's going to be a long one as well. And
it's not going to help.
I think that point was indicative a little bit of what CU's been facing here this evening.
And we see it once again, the block again for Temple. Fantastic. It has been a staple. As you see, Westfield and Simmons all over it. And just so far, Temple has just not been thrown at all on the defensive side. It's now 20-8. Skytama sets this one up for Heath. Heath gets it past the block. Irakuji calls that one on her, but actually, I'd say it was a pretty good return on her part. They just weren't able to get the second hit. But Heath able to get past the block that time. And I think you're at that point in this match where, anything's possible. But it would be a huge surprise if Campbell's able to come back in this set. So the question is, build that momentum going into the third set. Probably more or less is what Campbell's going to be looking at. A block there for Campbell, ineffective, 21-9 now.
Something I noticed on that replay there when we saw the Heirakuji dig 2 points ago now is noticed how close to the baseline essentially you had 3 Owls, 2 of them protecting the corners. They were a lot deeper, I think, than Campbell has been on the receiving end, and a lot of that is the block that you have in front of you. You know that you can afford to leave a little bit of space in between you. But maybe that's something Campbell wants to try and test. They tried to do it right there, just couldn't take advantage.
I was going to say one of the problems with that has been Irakuji, and just her range and how far she can go and how quickly she can do it as she's able to dig that one out. And that's been a big difference too. She's been able to save a lot of points for the Owls. And there's a big reason why they're on top by so much at this point. Skytama able to get that one over, but Temple's going to return it. Raposh is there as that one splits the block. As Izzy Raposh really been dominant in this second set. Struggled a little bit in the first set. No struggle at all in the second set.
Listed at 6'2". I think that might be undercutting her by an inch or two, to be totally honest with you. And she's got a huge wingspan. Yeah, she's looked very impressive.
Salvador again with the serve. See how Campbell ends this one out. Raposh, the single block there, very effective. He'll try again, and Raposh all over it. Izzy Raposh on the defensive side, absolutely dominant for the Temple Owls. It's going to be set point, 24-9. And I mentioned it briefly, but to see how much momentum you can get going into the third set, very, very important. And a couple points here would be huge for Campbell. Well, of course, Temple doesn't want any of that. They'd love to end this set right here, and that's exactly what they do. Katarina Papazoglu getting into the blocking game as the defense for Temple absolutely fantastic and absolutely dominant as the second set overwhelmingly goes to the Temple Owls, 25-9. Welcome back to WVSports.com. More first-round action from the NIBC tournament. Temple Owls facing off with the Campbell Fighting Camels. It has been all Temple so far. They lead in sets 2-0. First set, very competitive, a solid match, but the second set, not so much, as Temple's block really took over the match. The question is, how can Campbell respond to that now? They've had a little bit of time to talk this over, but it's obviously going to have to be fixed or there's no chance for Campbell to win this match.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that really jumps out to me as we take a look at the box score. Second set for Campbell, 13 errors to 6 kills. You essentially gave them half of their points on miscues, and not all of those. You know, an error is somewhat misleading as far as the box score is concerned because it doesn't always indicate exactly how the point played out. But there were definitely a lot of missed opportunities for Campbell, and so this is it. This is your season right here. You've got to start by winning this first set, and you got to string together 2 more, but that's not the concern at the moment. You've just literally got to go out and win some points and try and take this one away. This is a good Temple team. They've been challenging them all evening.
It's also pretty often that off blocks you'll get a lot of errors because the block will bounce off like 2 or 3 people and go out of bounds. So even 8 blocks, as astounding as that is, it doesn't really encompass how many blocks there really were. A lot of those errors probably came from the blocks as well. As Temple's defense really been dominant. I know I'm harping on that point a lot here, but we'll see if Campbell's able to get past that or not. And of course, the other side is Campbell's defense has not been able to have the same impact. Their block has been a little late a few times, so we'll see what happens here. We'll see what adjustments were made as third set action underway. Here's Raposh once again. Campbell able to keep this one alive. It's going to be Stocking. She takes something off of it. It's going to be blocked at the net anyway. It looks like Stocking that time was trying to go high, but she kind of miscued it. It ends up being a very easy block for Temple.
Yeah, kind of backspun it, and that's not what you want to do in that situation.
Yeah, backspin never really good in volleyball. Works in other sports. It's not very helpful.
Yeah, it'd be great on your approach shot on the 18th green, but not here.
Irakuji with the serve. That's going to be an overpass, but a good recovery there by Campbell. Keeps this one in play. Papazoglu keeps it alive. There's a nice awareness, quick play there by Minor, but unfortunately for her, ends up deflecting all the way out of bounds on the other side of the court. Temple off to a good start, 2-0.
Yeah, Minor had a good touch just a few before that, where she sent it cross court quickly over the net.
Out to Stocking. Stocking tries to go high. Did she get it in there? She did not. So she just missed out there. But I do think that's probably the right strategy for Stocking there, is to go high, either hope for the tip or hope to get it in. It's probably going to be one of her best routes to get past that block. As you see it there once again. That time it was Alicia Mitchell who tried to go high, but again, can't go too high. You'd have to hope you get some sort of tip as Mitchell goes too high there and goes out of bounds.
And not to harp on it too much here, but that's 3 straight errors that have fueled a 4-0 run.
And wow, that's not something that every volleyball player can do. Dayok able to get that one over the net. Kandori does again to Dayok, and Dayok able to finish that one off quickly. Not a good start here for Campbell. So it's a 5-0 early lead. I don't know how long it's going to be before Coach Gorel tries to get some sort of a timeout in there. As Temple running away with it early on. The block was there for Temple, but this time Campbell is able to get past it. That was Madison Linksweiler there, able to get past the Temple block, and unusually Temple's block not really all the way in with the net that time.
I'll take them any way you can get them at this point.
5-1, Linksweiler back to serve. Line drive serve. Kandori Dez sends it back to Dayok, and that one's going to go off the net, I believe. So a couple mistakes there from the Temple side. Give Campbell some points. Or excuse me, that one did go over.
That actually went over. It almost looked from our vantage point as though there was a hole in the net. That one kind of snuck its way in, but no, that did go over and hit the block.
Don't always have the best angle from here. Miss a few of them. Temple now up 6-1. Papazoglu not able to get that one to court. Schnegenberger blocked at the net. That was Dayok that was all over that one. As once again, the block very effective for Temple. And that one just a single block. And that's what is another thing that has been really impressive by Temple. They haven't always needed 2 players there to block it. Players like Dayok and Raposh and Papazoglu, talented enough to do it all by themselves. Izzy Raposh with the service error. Haven't seen as many of those from the Temple side. Saw them early on, but they've kind of cleaned that up. 7-2 now.
Raposh, who has had an otherwise fantastic evening with a little bit of a miscue there.
Skytama echoes that service error with one of her own. And that kind of hurts when you're hoping to get that momentum going, and then that can be quite a downer for a team.
Yeah, well, 4 errors in play and then the service error. 5 points essentially gifted to Temple, who's already coming in with a 2-set lead.
Alpazugla with the serve. This one's set up for Schnegenberger. She's blocked at the net, but it's going to block and, or excuse me, deflect nicely for the Campbell side, go out of bounds. As the block, and one thing that is true, when Campbell is trying to get these kind of high spikes going for them, even though they didn't work, they are seeming like Temple is at least changing their strategy a little bit there and making their block a little bit less effective. So it may have had some sort of positive side come out of it. Is Temple going to get the point there as well?
Well, and that's one of the things, too, that's nice about any tournament that you play in, certainly in the postseason, is this is going to give Campbell the opportunity to realize just how much more you have to work and how much more room there is for improvement to ultimately get to the point where you are competitive not only for a league championship, but a spot potentially in the NCAA tournament. This is a team that's making its first postseason trip ever in program history. So it's a learning experience for everybody involved. It doesn't help that you're going up against a little bit of a buzzsaw in the ladies from Philly.
Well, Schnegenberger gets a pretty big point there again, going up against the block. So Campbell has had a lot more success here early on against that block. We'll see if they can keep that going. Kayla Shanback, another jump serve there. Temple has really seemed to figure out that jump serve since the first set. And that's going to be another point for Campbell. It's Linksweiler again. As the block, not nearly as effective. They've really kind of been a little more off with their timing. Credit Campbell. They've made adjustments, and Temple block has not been nearly as effective as it was in that second set. Shanback can't keep that one inbound, so that's going to be another service error. And again, a bit of a Campbell run stopped by an error. As now Kandori Des will go back for Temple. 10-5, Temple, of course, doesn't want to give Campbell any hope. There's a miscommunication there. Linksweiler pointed it to herself there as making the mistake.
Yeah, that one won't go in the box score as an error, but it was definitely a mental miscue.
I see a couple of those on just serves for the Campbell side. Although Kandori Des goes deep that time and has a service error of her own.
I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, at this point, if you're Campbell, you just want to make Temple earn the points. You've had 5 errors, 2 service errors. You're almost gifting the Owls this third set. Make them earn it at the very least.
Here's Miner again with the serve. Kandori Des sets this one up for Raposh, and Raposh back to what she was doing in that second set. Another fantastic spike and gets the kill. 12-6. The Owls are on top. I kind of see it back and forth errors there for a little bit from both sides. Good to see a nice spike coming in there from Raposh.
Yeah, right on cue. The senior from Illinois.
Salvador now back to serve. Miner sets this one up for Heath. Heath blocked easily at the net. It's going to be a little bit of a hard play for Stocking. Harakuji keeps it going. Good back and forth. Here's Raposh again. Stocking keeps it alive. Miner, though, can't avoid getting in the net on that one. Very difficult point for her to try to return, as that one was a little bit doomed from the start, getting that close to the net.
Hey, I'll still give the freshman an A for effort. She was running around a great deal trying to keep that point alive.
Rachel Hardy will join the match for the Camels. As Salvador will come at it once again. Miner sets it up for Linksweiler. An opportunity and a good one there for Alina Heath. I believe in volleyball that's considered a meatball, is what they call that, when it's served up to you so nicely. And Alina Heath takes full advantage of it. You don't normally get that perfect set from the other teams. You don't take it when it happens. Heath not able to keep that one in, so it's going to be another service error. We've kind of harped on this a lot during this set, but that hurts really bad. After a big play, a painful error kind of takes all the momentum right out.
And the momentum is the key there.
Miner sets this one up for Stocking. Stocking hoping for a tip, and they're going to give it to her. This Temple, I don't believe, thought they did, but either way, that referee makes the call. Let's take another look at it. A little hard to tell from that point of view. Dayak is who it would have had to go off of.
Yeah, I didn't think so when I saw it live, but
it doesn't look like any challenges coming in, so we'll keep going. 14-8 now. Set up for Papazoglu. Papazoglu does not hit that one the way she was hoping to. Goes harmlessly off the net, and Campbell kind of coming back into this one a little bit, only down 5 now. Getting a couple points together, but this has been that time where they tend to make a big mistake. Kind of hurts their momentum, so we'll see if Linksweiler can keep the momentum going here for the Fighting Camels. And Temple scrambling a bit here. Raposh almost able to make a surprising, kind of out of nowhere, hard spike there, but it goes out of bounds. We're taking a look at it. Very close.
Oof.
But not quite able to get that one in. I think it was a good call by the referees, though. Got that one well.
When I saw it live, I wasn't 100% sure. Then when I saw the replay from our great crew, it looked like it was the right one to me.
See, that's why they're paid to be referees and we aren't.
All right.
All right.
Well, we're paid? No, I'm just kidding.
We're going to take a short break here on WVSports.com. When we come back, more NIVC action here from the WVU Coliseum, so keep it right here for the rest of this match. About to get back underway here from the WVU Coliseum. Women's NIVC volleyball action here between the Temple Owls and the Campbell Fighting Camels. And that's going to be an ace for Campbell, as Temple thought that one was going long, but it was not. Nicely done by Linksweiler, and Campbell continuing to have a solid run going here. Look like that might be that service error that has been haunting them so much, but not so much. Temple now the one kind of back on their heels. And that's going to be another point for Campbell. It looked like, I thought for a second there had been a tip there, but not according to the referees. Papazoglu goes long on the return. Nope, no tip. Good call. Actually wasn't even that close. I could have hit by mistake.
We're creating some extra drama here.
14-12. Kandorides sets this one up for Papazoglu, and Temple finally able to end that run with a very important point. That was 5 points in a row for the Camels. Finished off right there.
Good fight. Gonna need a few more.
Well, we'll see if Campbell can keep this going. There's Raposh now with the serve. Campbell sets it up, and they are going to keep it going. Schnegenberger gets the point. And again, things moving in a good direction now for the Camels, as Temple looks a little bit more flustered probably than they've been this entire match.
I love how Schnegenberger loaded up for that one. She almost had the javelin pose with her arm back. Beautiful look. And she earned that point the whole way.
It's a bit of a broken play here by Campbell, although they will keep it in play. Good opportunity here for Temple, and they take full advantage of it. As Iva Dayak makes Campbell pay for the little miscommunication they had there, as that sets up perfectly for her. It's a little similar to something that a WVU volleyball player does here all the time. Mia Swanigan likes to, although Mia Swanigan wants quite more of a run than that, but see a little similarity there. Miner sits his arm for Schnegenberger, tries to sneak it in there. That's Ira Kuji again with a terrific dig. Miner just has to force this one over, almost caught Temple off guard there. And wow, Campbell keeps that one alive. Who would have thought that one, though? Skytema makes a fantastic play the play before, not able to make it 2 in a row. It was an entertaining play for sure there, as Campbell barely able to keep that one alive.
Timeout, Campbell.
Not sure how they were able to. But again, it's Izzy Raposh, who's just been absolutely fantastic so far today. All right, so that's going to be a timeout coming from Campbell, as they know only a couple points left before this one is all said and done. So just taking a look here, what can Campbell do? Can they keep this going? Can they obviously haven't had as big of an issue with the block. What is keeping them from getting up on top?
Well, a lot of it is the fact that they're just struggling to beat the block. They've found a way to do it a little bit more consistently, and it's put them in a good position when it comes to attacking. But defensively, it's just so hard with the way that Temple is putting so much power behind the shot and getting great elevation. I mean, that point there was a great illustration of it. Campbell was in a position to keep that point alive. It took a Herculean effort just to keep it alive, and then ultimately it ended up going right to the exact same spot for an easy point. Temple gets up. They've got some great size, great wingspan, so they're getting a great angle on the shot. They're getting it down to the court so quickly that Campbell is just lunging at it, hoping that they can keep it in play. They've been able to do it on a couple of occasions, but to do that consistently requires a level of play that I don't know if the Camels honestly are capable of, and that's no disrespect to them. They've shown great fight and great intensity here tonight, but Temple is just very, very good at what they do.
Stocking tries to go long there, goes too long. So Temple will get the point there. 5-point lead now for the Owls. Papazoglu getting ready for another serve. Thessalonica, Greece. Minor will set this one up. There's Schnegenberger. Irakuji saves that one, although I don't know if she wanted to. I think that was going out of bounds. Although it was off the tip, so she kind of had to. So Temple will get the point there as well, 19-13. Let's just look at it. Avideok just really picking her spots. Finds a perfect opening in the back of the defense. Minor sets it up for Schnegenberger. Terrific adjustment in midair by Hannah Schnegenberger. Finds the opening in the Temple defense, but still a 5-point lead the Temple's got that Campbell is going to have to overcome.
That ended a 4-0 run for the Owls.
It really has been. There hasn't been a lot of back and forth. It has been a lot of runs for both sides. Campbell going to need a run of their own if they want to take this third set and survive to a fourth. Heath going to be at a bit of an awkward angle. Good work keeping that one alive. There's going to be an infraction, I believe, double contact against Kira Condoridez of Temple. So Campbell will get a free point right there, 19-15 now. Condoridez with a rare mistake. Trying to point out that he's going to need facilities crew here to mop up a spot that she had slipped on. Real quick take care of that. And we can get back underway here. Campbell in desperate need of a run. They've got 1 point towards that run. Let's see if they can keep it going. Stocking again with the serve. Condoridez sets it up for Dayok, and there's no real hope for Campbell on that one. Dayok all over that. That was put in perfect position for her.
6'1" junior Dayok, but look at how much she elevates. Her chin is at the top of that net cord.
A lot of confidence in that one.
Yeah.
She knew as soon as she jumped up in the air, she was going to get the kill. Now back to serve. And not able to get enough elevation on that one, though. We'll give Campbell a free point. And it's just a 4-point lead here for Temple. So Campbell's still very much in this one, but this is that point where you just cannot allow a run to start at all for Temple, or this match will be over. Schambach, a nice serve, but Temple does a nice job controlling it. Dana Westfield slams that one in before there's any chance for a Campbell return. An infraction against Campbell, I believe, for being in the net, which is a little surprising at this point, but yeah, you can easily see it right there. That was Linksweiler who made contact with the net. The referee's on that one quickly. And another miscommunication there by the Campbell side off the serve. As Kira Condoridez will go ahead and take that ace, although I don't think she was expecting it. It has been an issue for Campbell there with some of these serves that just not knowing who should make that first contact. 22-16 now. As Temple just trying to finish this one out. They need 3 more points. Minor sets it up for Linksweiler. Temple keeps it alive. They'll take another chance. This time Minor tries to catch Temple off guard. Doesn't work. Minor again. This time to Heath. Now Temple's going to take a shot at it. Here comes Raposh. Raposh able to keep that one in bounds, according to the referees. Again, from my angle, I didn't think it was, but
Yeah,
then
I didn't
again,
think so either.
We've been wrong more than right, so I'll go ahead. Let's see on the replay. Oh, man.
We were way off.
Wow.
We were way off.
It's all the thing of angles, you know. You got to have the right angle.
It's the lighting.
Well, at least we were both way off. So
and our camera operator, Nick, I think the glare from his lens really did us in.
That's where it was.
Yeah.
That's totally what happened. Not that we just can't see. 23-16 now. Just a couple points away, so obviously Campbell going to have to go on a really, really big run to be able to save this match. But I think overall, you had mentioned it multiple times about how both of these teams getting the chance to play in a postseason is really important. And for both of these programs moving forward, both programs that don't get to play in the postseason often at all, it really can be something that moves them forward in a good way. And Campbell, obviously, we talked about the Big South. It's a much better volleyball conference than usual. The American Conference has been good at volleyball for a long time, so it's very big for both of these programs. And as Campbell, it looks as if they're going to be going home early on this one, unless they're able to make a heck of a comeback.
Yeah.
They do have a lot to, they've had a good experience here and something they wouldn't have gotten to have without this tournament.
Well, and the experience part of it's the whole reason why the resurgence of the NIVC and before the WIVC, came about. It's just the opportunity to get more teams playing. And, at the upper echelons of college volleyball, there are only so many teams that are really good. We're talking about the Penn States. We're talking about Texases. There are, really just a handful of teams that you can come into a season and say they're going to win a national championship. This might provide a little bit more depth and parity in the game as we go on here years and years down the road. But certainly last opportunity here with match point. And
Hannah Vandergrift has come into the match for Temple. She'll try and finish things out, unless Campbell's able to return this one. Heath is able to return it. Here comes Westfield to try and finish things off. Campbell keeps it going. Another opportunity set up, and the block is going to go out of bounds, so that will finish this match right there. Temple able to take the third and final set, 25-16. They take the match overall 3-0, so that means Temple will be facing off tomorrow against the winner of tonight's match in tomorrow's match at 7 o'clock. So that is when Temple's next game will be. West Virginia will be going up against UMES here in just a little bit here at 7 o'clock. That will be the next match. Winner of that match will go up to face the Temple Owls.